Aloha mai kako. My name is Keli'ikanoe Mahi, and I'm from Hawaii Island, from South Kona, Hawaii. And I was born and raised in Hawaii, originally from Oahu. And to go way back, because just to give it context, I was born in the 70s when the Hawaiian language was on the brink of being lost.
Right.
And so in the 70s, we had this renaissance going on, and I feel I was a beneficiary of those people that made the push to bring the language and the culture to the forefront. I then went to high school in the late 80s and started learning the Hawaiian language. And it really, it just resonated with me at that age. And I went on to study it at University of Hawaii at Hilo. And then I got my teaching license and started teaching in the public education sector at various schools, teaching the Hawaiian language and all different ages, including parents of students, and have been doing that since.
And you rose up to be principal of the school.
I did. Most recently, before I pivoted careers with COVID, I was the principal of Kekulo Ehunui Kaimalino, the Hawaiian Language Immersion School. It's a public school, K-12, in South Kona. It's fabulous. It's fabulous. I want to swim in it.
Right.
But the name, it's perfect.
Well, and you helped us name this blend, right? As we came up with these 8 beautiful oils, knowing that we wanted the Iliahi to be a part of it, that we wanted the Now to be a part of it, and really wanting to honor the land and the trees and the culture of Hawaii. Mm-hmm. And we loved working with you to come up with the name Mālama, and knowing that we are stewards of the earth, right?
Yes.
Of the plants, of the trees, and we must care for them.
We need to Mālama
and love them and Mālama them.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm so thankful. It's beautiful. I feel like it's lifting up what has been trodden down in the past.
Right.
I feel like it's honoring,
Yes.
the language and Hawaii so much, and I'm so thankful for that.
I also feel like it's honoring us as individuals, connecting us together.
Yes.
Right? Which is what the world needs right now.
Absolutely.
We need more Mālama.
We do. Absolutely. From my viewpoint and what I've experienced, Hawaiians are very sensitive to protective, territorial, and kind of a little bit gun shy on things, like not really trusting of big, especially big companies coming from outside, coming in and not knowing what's going on. And so
they love their land, right?
Absolutely.
And they've been taken advantage of in the past.
Yes, and there's limited resources.
Yes.
So
when we first came to the island and purchased that plot of land, we had some resistance from the locals.
yes,
Right, because they didn't understand what
Exactly.
we wanted to do with the
Exactly.
Hawaiian sandalwood.
yes, and there's a deep history
Yes.
of hurt and pain
Absolutely.
around the sandalwood, the
Goes back
Iliahi.
generations.
So this Iliahi, there was a protectiveness, and even for myself, I didn't know what was happening, and so through talking and learning when I was at the school still, and having our kids participate in plantings, and knowing that there was open arms to us, and they wanted us to be up there, the kids.
Yes.
And the teachers, and so through that, gaining knowledge of what's going on there, the reforestation efforts. It's not take, which is usually what we hear about in history.
Right.
It's giving back.
Yes.
And like more than what is being taken. And it's so refreshing. And because I went through that transformation myself on hearing, first being like, wait, what's going on?
What are you doing to our land?
What are we doing?
Yes.
And then going, wow, this is so amazing. As a Native Hawaiian, I was just blown away.
It's a rebirth of a legacy.
It is.
Yes.
And it's breathing life back into the land. And so, you know, sharing that with as many of my Hawaiian colleagues as I can, bringing as many keiki children as I can onto the Aina to experience it. And after COVID has kept everyone cooped up, people are really not only happy to hear what's going on, but just feeling fortunate to be able to experience it. Right now, so Hawaii, we kind of straddle this. We have it in the past with our kupuna, so my grandparents and beyond, and then the now time. So we straddle between the back then and the now.
Right.
So back then, the Naio had a function.
Okay.
Now, Naio is not known. It's an unknown thing. It's not used. It doesn't have a function in our world.
Right.
And it's forgotten. And the only things that
It's so necessary.
the only things that remain are bad things from the past.
Right.
So I'm so excited because this is going to give the Naio its own light and its own life.
Right.
Stop with the false sandalwood. It's called Naio, the sweet wood.
Right.
It has such a sweet scent. It's so beautiful. And I look forward to it having its own life and its own energy, because right now, another thing that people aren't aware of is there's a thrip. So it's a bug that's eating the Naio.
Okay.
So the Naio is taking a hit right now.
Right.
It's dying.
Yeah.
And there's no resources because no one knows about it.
Right.
But with this, we can get more research and more help for it and maybe
Absolutely.
get that thrip out of there.
Right.
The thrip, literally, it's a beautiful, healthy plant, and then it just withers and dies.
Right.
The whole tree.
Right.
If you go to naioinfo.com, I believe, we have a website now giving information about Naio and what happens to it, and but how beautiful it is, and just to get the word out there about our dear sweet wood, our Naio. So I'm super excited about the Naio being in this Mālama blend and possibly having its own spotlight.
It deserves a spotlight.
It does,
right?
and a purpose.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It deserves to be a hero.
Yes.
Oh, I love marrying the two and bringing them into this beautiful blend.
It's beautiful.
Thank you for helping us name Mālama and keeping us true at KMR to the heritage, the legacy that is so deserving with these beautiful trees.
Mahalo to you.
Mahalo.